Welcome back to today's video. I'm going to break down for you do-it-yourself advertising versus hiring a professional like us, Wojo Media. I'm going to break down for you how I look at trying to do things yourself versus handing it off and delegation. Okay, so we're going to use the whiteboard for this. I hope you guys enjoy this video. You might be sitting there right now, you're a solopreneur, maybe you can't afford to work with a marketing firm. But I want to break down a couple things for you. We're going to go down to the whiteboard while I'm talking. So we're going to head down to the whiteboard here, and we're going to break down DIY versus a pro team doing it. We could just chuck this down the middle, okay? There's a couple things you don't understand here is that when you're doing DIY ads, there is going to be a lack of experience. You really have to ask yourself, am I willing to pay more money to get experience, right? Because if I have a lack of experience, what do you think that's going to turn into? A lack of results. Okay. And you're the business owner. Your job is not to solve every problem in the business. Your job is to do what you do best inside of that business to make sure that not just you are aligned, your team's aligned, and everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. The second you start sporadically trying everything yourself, you're now taking the power away from your team and the power away from your customers to grow within your business so that you can make more money. Okay. So if I have a lack of experience, I then have a lack of results. Okay. Also, there's other things that I would love to break down here, which is the following, and there's other things I want to break down, which is the following. Okay. When you have a lack of experience, lack of results, that experience comes down to you don't understand offers. Like you think your business is great because it's your business, but you don't understand how to run cold traffic offers that actually convert and make money. Okay. Second is you don't understand copy that well. You think you do because you have chat GPTs. You're like, yeah, I know what copy is. No, you don't. Okay. I've never had a chat GPT outperform me. That's pretty fucking rare. Okay. It doesn't happen. So you don't understand copy. Now you got to make a landing page. We'll just call it an LP or a lander. Okay. Do you know how to build good landers? Are you just going to use a template? Do you know how to write a good headline, subheadline, infatuations? Do you know how to do any of that? Probably not. You're going to try to do all of these things yourself, okay? And you think by DIYing, you will then later on become a pro because that's how you were taught when you were a kid. If you just work hard, you'll get what you want, you'll figure it out, yada, yada, yada. No, as definitely not the truth. Trust me, it's not. And I'm not trying to sell you anything on this video. I just want you to understand that you doing it yourself, I see people all the time who try to do things themselves and they never get done correctly. Because why? They're distracted. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, okay? Now that you're DIYing, okay, so lack of experience, lack of results, you don't understand offers and copy and the landing page and all that jazz, what is going to tend to happen now? Now that you're DIYing, you neglect your operations, okay, because now we're sucking up time to DIY our own ads. So now we wake up, we're thinking what we're going to do today. You think that you got to post on social media yourself. You think that you got to run ads yourself. Do you understand how much time that takes? And a lot of us manage our ads like a hawk. Like we're spending $100 a day and you're checking it at 10 a.m. and then at 1 p.m. and then at 3 p.m. and then at 5. Like you understand how much that deviates you away from your tasks? So now now you neglect your operations. You're now going to neglect your customers because you're so focused on how much you're spending. Okay, now you're going to neglect your targets. Okay, and what do I mean by that? You cannot set targets in a business when you're only doing the things that are bottlenecking you. Now, just follow me here. If I neglect my operations, now my clients and my team suffers, which we don't want. If I neglect my customers because I'm too busy doing marketing all day, and shooting videos and editing them manually and not offloading and delegating, now I'm going to neglect my customers from getting a better product. And then I neglect my targets. I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, I want to get 10 leads a day. I got to run my ads and get 10 leads a day. Okay, well, likelihood is that you're going to neglect your targets because if you are running the ads, okay, you have to think about the operations part. Who's going to call the leads? What's my CRM going to look like? Okay, what's my pipeline? Do I have a sales team? Am I the only SP or salesperson? Like, what are all these things here that we're now neglecting because we just want to run around marketing? You cannot do ads and copy and offers and creatives and the CRM and the pipeline and call to leads and have sales calls and do follow up and even try to go hire a salesperson. You're not able to. And what did I forget is talking to your customers. You don't have time to talk to your customers. Customers who are already paying you, they're loyal. And you're going to have a lack of customers because your time is so sucked by doing all these things. And like, we spend a lot of money on ads every single day. I don't even do my own shit. And I'm spending 5 figures a day on paid traffic. I'm not doing it because why? Why am I not doing it? Why am I giving it off to a pro? Which is going to move us to the right-hand side here. Why am I not doing it? Because my duty as a business owner is to do a couple of things. I need to be a leader. Okay? I need to focus on attracting A+ talent, plus retention of the current A players inside of my business. I need to be a leader. Second is I need to go get market data to make my marketing better. It's not up to me to implement, it's up to me to bring. So market data to make my ads better, which is what? That's ads, consumer behavior, okay? Offers, etc. Okay. So I need to be a leader. I need to grab data and I need to be able to, report that back. Okay. What else am I focused on? My sales team. How are we going to get the most out of the leads? How are we going to fulfill when those leads buy? How are we going to track the KPIs to know that we're performing week over week? How are we going to be able to align marketing with leadership? Okay. And if you don't understand what I'm saying here, and you're sitting there going, oh, this kid's talking about shit. I need leads. I need customers. If you don't focus on these things, you will crumble. Trust me. I run $1 million a month business. You are not going to be able to do your ads yourself and have sales team fulfillment, tracking KPIs, and aligning the marketing with leadership and aligning marketing with sales. If you think those things are boring or they're too elementary and you're like, nah, I got it. You will fall into the same trap that I did. I was stuck under $250K a month. Couldn't fucking scale because I had no one to help and I was trying to do it myself and I was burnt out. You can't do it all on your own. Okay. Also, what's the difference in the DIY versus the pro doing it? Okay. If you're DIYing, there's zero labor. Okay. But a lot of time. Zero labor, but you're utilizing more time, which means less revenue. You think that you're saving money here. Oh, I'm not paying any labor, so I should be making more money. Wrong. Okay. If I pay a pro, what do I get? In our business, you get a team of 5 to 7 people who are working on your marketing. You get a strategy lead. You get a media buyer. You get a dev person. You get a copy person. You get a graphics and video person. You now have these things at your disposal. If you were to go out and instead of DIY and you are going to basically bring it in-house, here's what those expenses would likely look like. Strategy lead, it's going to be about $8K a month. Okay, a media buyer is going to be about $5K a month. A dev person is going to be about $2K a month, give or take. Copy is going to be about $3K a month, give or take. Graphics is going to be about $3K a month, give or take. If you add these up, we're at 13, 15, 18, 21K. 21K a month that you're going to spend to bring these people in-house. Do you want to do that? Or just hire a team for 3 to 5K a month? I would rather pick that option. Now, by spending X amount of money, what am I now saving? If I'm spending 3 to 5K a month, now I value myself at more than 3 to 5K a month. Now, what do I mean by that? Every single thing that I've bought inside of my business, okay, if it's 3 to 5K a month, okay, let's just say it's 3K a month. Let's just be conservative. That's $100 a day. That means that let's say I worked on this for 2 hours a day. That means that I'm valuing my time at $50 an hour, which means that times 8 equals what? $400 a day. That means that I'm valuing my business at 12K a month minimum. Actually, maximum, excuse me. That means that my time is worth 12K a month. You're a business owner. You know your time's not worth 12K a month. You want to be making 25K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, a couple million a month, whatever it looks like. You're valuing your time here. Okay. And that's where you're stuck. And when you value yourself at this kind of revenue target, now everything else you start doing is also low level. So then what do you start doing? You start when you're worth $50 an hour. What do you usually get stuck doing? Okay, you're replying to customers. Okay, you're dealing with customer tickets. You're doing graphics. You're doing social media posting. Okay, you're handling referrals. You're hiring. Like, I could go all day. The list goes on. And when you're doing all these things or trying to, what then happens? The quality goes down. Okay. As a solopreneur, to be able to afford these things, you have to focus on a couple of things in the beginning of your business. Number one is offers. Okay. You need to make sure that your offers are irresistible. And we're going to put HC, which means high converting. Second is your product market fit? You need to make sure that what you're selling is different than competition and sets a new standard, and it fits the actual market that you're selling to. So now you have good offers and your product's product market fit. Third is fulfillment. Okay. And that cannot or equal results. Am I able to acquire results for my clients? Am I able to acquire results for my customers? Then the fourth thing is going to be content. But you are not editing and doing all that. You would delegate that to a team within that 3 to 5K a month range. Now I'm shooting content. My offers are good. I got product market fit. I can fulfill and drive results. What do these four things have in common? Okay. We can call this a marketing mix. And there's more to this, but I want to break this down. Okay. So what else can we include inside this marketing mix? If I'm the solopreneur and I want to prove that my offers are good and my product is product market fit and I can fulfill, which means that I'm getting results and I'm able to shoot content, what am I now able to do? Everything else gets a lot easier when you delegate this to a team. Everyone's happy. Because now what can they do efficiently? They can create ads that are good. They can use case studies for social proof. They know that your product's product market fit, so copy is good. They know your offer, it's irresistible, so now your landing pages are high converting. And when you have good ads, good social proof, your copy's good, and your landing pages are high converting, what does that now equal? A very high return on ad spend. And then the last piece for you to figure out is sales, because this marketing mix has to feed sales. And in the beginning of your business, you're going to be proving that concept. And once you prove that concept, you know that there's revenue coming through the door from having good ads and having the social proof and having good copy and having good landing pages to where you can now afford to solve your sales problem. You can pay a placement agency and delegate. Okay. You're also going to be able to attract a lot of A+ talent when you have good ads and you have good social proof. People know that what you're doing is working. You're going to have A players coming to try to work for you because they want to be a part of your mission and, you know, your core values and what they see for the future of the company. All these things matter. But when you're bottlenecked as shit, you can't do any of this. And this is what building a real company looks like. And I want to make sure that you understand the difference between DIY and just hiring a pro. Stop this, I'm going to do it myself and figure it out myself bullshit. You're not smarter than a marketing firm. You think you are because you don't want to pay the money. You're scared. You're a child. If you don't want to invest in other people, don't expect people to invest in you. And don't run a business. You didn't have to. Okay, we didn't tell you to be an entrepreneur. Shit's hard. But you have to put the money up to believe in other people, build relationships, and be a leader like I talked about before. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need help finding your marketing mix and you want to get good ads and you want to get good copy and landing pages, come work with Wojo Media. We're one of the most sought after marketing firms online. I'll leave the calendar link in the description below so you can book a call with us and go over what it looks like to work with us, the investment, and let's get rocking and rolling and start delegating and start getting your business to where it needs to be so that you are focused on revenue-driven tasks, not bottlenecking ones. And let's take it off your plate. So link in the description, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.